Hey everybody, this is Pop's Reviews, and I'm back again with another Squared Circle video. Um, I know I haven't been making videos for a little while, just having a little break, and just been busy with life and that, but yeah, things are great, and hopefully you guys checked out the conversation I had with Al Redsox fan this past Friday. It was a great conversation. I'll put a link to that in the description. If you guys want to check that out, please check out his wonderful channel. But I'm here today because I'm doing a review on the Squared Circle. As you can see, this is the core book. I've already done reviews on this. I'm just kind of showing this off here because, of course, with any of the Squared Circle books or with the game, you need the core rule book that has all the components, charts to start you off to get you going in the Squared Circle. And once you have this core book, then you could go on and get all these other fantastic books. Now, of course, they come in hardcover, softcover, and PDF. But of course, you have the 1985, 1990 New York Territory, the good old AWA from 1970 to 87, Minnesota Territory, and World Class Dallas, 1981 to 1987. So these were the first four books that were released, and these look really nice as hardcovers. But there just recently was a new book that has been released just a little while ago, and it is the Squared Circle Pro Wrestling Simulation game, and this is the Memphis edition. So the Memphis edition here, of course, showing you good old Jerry the King Lawler, the King of Memphis. And so this here, from Western Tennessee, came out one of the most storied pro wrestling territories in the 1970s and 80s. Memphis, Tennessee was the hotbed of the brawling, anything could happen style. That was the hallmark of Southern wrestling, just as New York was going more character-based, doing Saturday morning cartoons and releasing music videos to MTV. Go back to when Jerry Lawler was truly the king, when Dutch Mantel was dirty, when Tommy Rich was a wildfire, when Bill Dundee was a superstar, when Austin Idol was a universal heartthrob. Whether a fabulous one, a sheep herder, or a moondog, this is for you. So, this is a fantastic edition here. This is a solid book here. As you can see, there's a lot of pages in this book. And again, it's a nice hardcover. I'm going to open up here in just a sec. Just wanting to say that if you want to purchase the hardcover, it was, for me, Canadian, $55.99, and then the PDF is, I believe, $19.99 Canadian. So I purchased both. They came out to around $90 Canadian. So it is a good purchase, I guess, for me, or a little bit of cash, to get what I want. But I'm very happy here with what I purchased from receiving the PDF as well as the hardcover. And of course, I purchased this as I'm not affiliated with the Squared Circle or ST Patrick. We've done a conversation, we talked through emails and stuff like that, but this is me purchasing this book with my hard-earned money, as well as the PDFs. So this is just my personal review on the Squared Circle, and it's kind of showing off really the hardcover. So I'm going to show you off this book here, and then I want to talk about just the game itself. It's been a while. There are lots of other people out there that have done wonderful videos playing the Squared Circle. There's also the Delphi forums. If you ever want to get more information, you can go through those forums, and if you have any questions about the game, or just directly to ST Patrick. But I've seen lots of guys playing different matches on YouTube, and so I just want to put in my own 2 cents and maybe just do a little small sample match, just to kind of show you what I use. And then it's totally up to you if how you want to play your game, because once you have the game, it is your game, so it's free to however you want to do it. But let's just dive into this hardcover here. The solo promoter, check out his wonderful channel. He did a showing of the PDF version that he got. So he has there's a lot of information in that. Sorry for the glare, guys, if you're seeing the glare. But yeah, he did. He has his video on this. So I just wanted to show the hardcover, what you're kind of getting here. So I'm not going to go through everything. This is a pretty full book. I guess the 251 pages in this book here, and you get a nice lot of flavorful pictures, and then you get a nice write-up from St. Patrick himself. I would suggest you read these. Mr. Patrick, he puts a lot of flavor into it, and has put in a lot of work, and that's what makes these books really special to me. Is that the work that St. Patrick does to get the flavor of the territory into these books. It makes me want to purchase these hardcovers and keep them. I will say that if you are trying to get into the Squared Circle game, that I would first purchase the PDF format, so that way you could print off the sheets at your beckon, really, and if you buy the hardcover book or the softcover, you're kind of like flipping pages back and forth, and that just doesn't really work out well. So it's best, I think, to buy the PDF. And then if you're really happy with the game, if you think this is a wrestling national treasure, then buy the softcover or the hardcover. For me, I love the hardcovers. They just feel really nice and are just a really nice addition to put onto your bookshelf. So, as you can see, he has an introduction to Memphis. I'm not going to go through this whole book. As far as the wrestlers in this game, I mean, I think there's 179 wrestlers, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to see if I could find it here. But yeah, there's a whole ton of wrestlers in Memphis. Now, I'm someone, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of Memphis wrestling, or during my time as a kid watching wrestling. It was more in my area in Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, was AWA and excuse me, and of course WWF. Sorry, just had to pause the video there. Just a lot of coughing there. So yeah, so I was saying I didn't really get a lot of Memphis. There was a lot of AWA and WWF in my time watching as a kid, and then whatever your local local bar type local area type guys matches or whatever were here. You see a famous picture there of Jerry Lawler ready to pile drive Andy Kaufman. So with this book, what's new about this book? Does that he added, of course, there's the pinfall submissions chart for Memphis. There's also the managers have their own way to interfere, because from the original rule book, the manager's interference was so here you see manager control rules. So yeah, so this here, like this to me, I don't, you could say I'm spoiling here, but I just think that, if you want, you could just add whatever to your manager. So this is what he suggests. So we have Bobby Heenan for old WWF or WWE as a 2. So how this works is that you have your manager and they're allowed to interfere. Like for Heenan, it would be 2 times. He gets to try and interfere with 2 control roles during his whatever he's managing the match. And if he just rolls a control roll, if it doesn't succeed, then he loses it, and then he'd be left with 1 more. And if he does succeed, then he could roll on his chart, and then he's able to use whatever cheat that's on his chart. But originally, if you remember, that the control rolls for managers were you had to first roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on the wrestler's chart, and then after that, you had to roll a cheat on you'd have to roll again a D6. Okay, this is from the original book, the original Jim Crockett Promotions. You'd have to roll a D6, and if it was a 1 or a 2, then you were able to get your manager involved with his chart. Okay, this kind of, you're still able to do it that way. Even for me, I would roll. It would be higher. I would at least do 1 to 3. That's my homebrew of the manager control with the cheat chart. But this is just, and then myself, I was using this type of system after to try and get the manager a little bit more involved. That way, you could at least say that your manager tried, to try and interfere in the match, that he did have a chance. Especially, I understand, like, they didn't interfere all the time, especially like with enhancement talent matches and stuff like that. But on a bigger scale, when it be a bigger match, and his wrestler's losing, of course he's going to try and interfere in the match, right? So it's a good way, at least excuse me, at least Mr. St. Patrick has an official manager control rules here. So for anyone who thinks it's a homebrew, it's official rules here, right? For his system. And then of course, if you want to up, a manager's control role, that's totally up to you after that, right? If you think Captain Lou should be interfering at least once, or Elizabeth, then that's totally up to you, right? You'd be able to change it however you want once you have your game and once you have your season going and whatnot, right? But at least there are initial rules for that. And of course, he has a new wrestling raffle chart. I don't want to show off too much stuff here, but he has a new wrestling raffle chart for Memphis. So that's a new addition to the book. And so he has a new wrestling raffle chart, especially for Memphis. There's a pre-match Memphis for television, and then he has like the wrestler movesets. So here's like for Jerry Lawler. I'm not gonna show everybody, because again, we want you to purchase the book or the PDFs and to see, what this great system is all about here. But you're gonna have all kinds of different wrestlers, whether it be Macho Man, Kareem Muhammad. You're getting a whole lot of wrestlers in this book. Danny Fargo. So I'm just kind of going through here. But as you can see, and I'm just going to show the binding. The binding here is holding up. So far, so good. And so you're going to get a whole ton of wrestlers, tag teams, and then there's going to be new stipulation matches, such as Loser Leaves Town, Pile Driver, Texas Death, Memphis Style, and Tag Team Barbed Wire. So you're getting a whole lot of different matches here that you could go through and read the rules for. So this is just a wonderful book, wonderful addition to my book series. Now he's made a total of five different territories. So you see them like this there. I have them stacked from the first to the last, the fifth. So as you can see, it looks really nice. I'm super happy with this purchase here. So this is, again, the Squared Circle hardcover books. All of these books are wonderful. They hold up. And again, like I said, if you really want to get into it, get the PDF version, like I said, to print it off. Then get whatever soft cover or hardcover if you want more of a collector's feel for the game. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, now that we've talked about the books, now I want to talk about just playing, how I play this game a little more. So when you play the Squared Circle, you're going to need dice. Okay, so a lot of this game is rolling control for your wrestler. A lot of times, it's just a one-off, whether it's for a tag team or a single wrestler. One dice is representing one wrestler, one's representing the other, or a team. And you're just going to roll off on a dice. Now, what happens is that a lot of times, you're rolling and it could seem like a kind of like a back and forth, like the red roll a 12, the blue roll a 5, and you roll back and forth. oh, now the blue rolled an 8 and the red rolled a 2. So a lot of times it can just seem like it's just kind of like a back and forth with the dice, and it kind of is a bit, and then depending on what you roll for, the wrestler for his move set and what damage he's doing, that everything kind of factors in. But I know a lot of the times, some people get kind of frustrated that they're just kind of rolling, the dice back and forth. But again, like I said, the damage and the move sets of each wrestler is very different. But a lot of times you want to have control. Control is very important in this game, and if you want more of a, for me, if I want more of a simulation, if I want to see someone like Big John Studd taking on Leaping Lanny Poffel, for me, Big John Studd is going to be he's the bigger name. He has more of the power points, so he'll probably have more control in the match than Poffel would, right? So how do I simulate this with like the dice rolling? Well, what I do is I have different sets of dice here. So you have your D20s. You're going to obviously have your D10s. Okay, so D20s I use for matches that are more even. Okay, if you want to have a more even match, I'll use the D20s to kind of, simulate two guys that are even. If I want to have a more feuded match, so two guys that are even, but now they've been wrestling for a while, the scores aren't really being settled, then I'll use the D10s for them so then they could go on the wrestling raffle chart a little more. With the D20s, they're not, it's harder to roll on the wrestling raffle chart because it's a bigger number, to tie kind of thing. It's less likely, but it happens, but it's a little less likely, right? And in D10s, you're probably going to tie a lot more than you would on D20s. So that's why I would use D10s for more of a feuded match with equal wrestlers, right? So you have your D10s, your D20s, and now the other dice you're going to need, again, is a D8. This is for your cheat chart. But a D8, I might use as well against another dice. Now, the most important dice to me that you can get for this game, too, is a D12. So a D12, to me, is a really important dice because this dice here, I use this for matches that, have... like a championship match or just someone who's favored over the other guy. So what I mean by all this is that I would use a D12 against a D10 for a championship match. So if I wanted Hulk Hogan to take on Mr. Wonderful, I'd probably use this combination of the D12 versus a D10. And you could do this. You could roll different dice against each other. That is totally fine. Okay, it is all right? So I would use this for more of a championship match or a guy that's more favored, in the match. If say you had, I don't know, let's say Macho Man, and he was taking on someone I don't know, let's say Tony Atlas or something like that. Then I might give Savage the 12, right? It's a 2-point edge with this dice compared to this, right? If you want more of a squasher match-ish, then you might roll the 12 against a D8, right? So now the 12 will probably get a little, way more, it's way more advantageous than the D8, right? The D8's probably not going to score too much, so that's more if you have your main guy against a more of a named guy like a Poffo, I'd probably have him roll this dice and against a superstar guy, right? And then just an outright squash match, then I would roll a 12 against the D6. So that's by 6 points now that the D12 is up against the D6, right? So that's how I roll my dice for my league. You could adjust, go by PowerPoints, and if a guy is 100 or 200 points difference, then you could decide if both guys roll a D10 or two D20s, or again, for me, if the guys are not named guys, I don't want them rolling even dice, right? Because then it's just going to go back and forth. Poffel's getting the advantage on Big Johnston if you're rolling d20s, or the d10s against each other. You want the guys who have the more power points to have a little more control, right? And then obviously you're rolling dice, so anything happens when you roll dice, and if the D10 is happening to beat the D12, well then that's just the rolling of the dice, right? But you want the guys with the higher power points to kind of be who they are, right? So this is the system I use now. Again, it's totally up to you. You're free to use whatever systems you want, and PowerPoints, all that kind of stuff. But this is what I use to try and simulate more of a realistic match. Okay, so now I'm just going to set up a match here, and I'm just going to show you kind of the rules. I mean, what I've been playing with, but hopefully you get a sense of idea of how it would go, right? So you just give me a sec. Let me set everything up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back, and here's a match that I've set up here. I'm going to have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat take on the magnificent Don Morocco. Now, I'm going to say that these two are just starting out in the beginnings of what could be a feud between the two of them, right? We know it does become a feud in WWF. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play them at level 3. So Steamboat has health of power points of 280. Morocco has power points of 242. Now you can start them off at level 0, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you feel comfortable with. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just starting off at level 3, and going to play from there. And I'm going to roll d20s for this match because I consider them kind of both equal. Steamboat has basically 95 more power points than Morocco, so I'm going to start them off with even d20s to start the feud. Now, if something happens during the match, or during if it continues on, if there's stuff that happens to continue the feud, then these d20s might be d10s the next time they wrestle. Okay. And another thing I might want to do is, if they tie, I'm not going to go to the wrestling raffle chart right off the bat. I'm going to let them wrestle a bit. Okay, so let's say if they tie 3 times during this match, then I might go to the wrestling raffle chart to see what happens. Okay, so we'll say that. And Mr. Fuji is also here. I have his sheet here, so he might be able to interfere in the wrestling book. I think Mr. Fuji was a 1 wrestling control. Let me just look. I'd probably give him a 1, but I will look to make sure what was the official for Mr. Fuji. No, he's a 2. Okay, so Mr. Fuji has 2 chances to interfere in this match. Now, again, this is up to you. You could totally choose if you want Mr. Fuji to interfere 2 times in the match at a lower power points because they're playing at level 3. I might just have it that he might be able just to use 1 because we're playing at a lower level, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have him at level 1. If we're playing at full, then maybe he's allowed his 2 full interference. Okay, it's up to you again if you feel comfortable to have him use his 2 interferences in a lower level. Totally up to you, promoter, right? So here we go. So we're going to start this match off. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Don Morocco. They both roll for control. And it is Don Morocco. He's in the red. Steamboat is the blue. So Morocco gets control. And we roll to see what does he do. So 77. Morocco and Steamboat lock up. And a 77. Morocco turns around and gives him a back rake. So a back rake. That is a +1. I'm going to double the damage, 2. And you roll the 6-sided die. So 2, so that's 5. So Steamboat is down to 275. Okay. Oh, So Steamboat is at 275. So there we go. So we roll for control. And it's Morocco again. Morocco in control. 85 from the Magnificent One. And now he's got Steamboat down. He's going for a falling headbutt. That's 11, 22, 26. So that's 26 damage. And Steamboat down to 249. And Morocco in control. Morocco starting out hot and heavy in this one. 23 for the Magnificent One. At 23 he's going to drop an elbow, or he hammers the dragon with the big elbow behind the head. So that's a 7, 14, 16. And the dragon taking some punishment already at the beginning of this match here. He's down to 233. Morocco at 242. So already the dragon has already come down to Morocco's level. And now the dragon now looking to tee off on the Magnificent One. A 70 from the dragon. Goes for a high crossbody. High crossbody. And now he's going for the pin because it's 2 stars. So it's a D. So now we go to the pin chart because this is an automatic pin because it's 2 stars. Now remember guys, from the WWF book, you have actually 2 different charts for pins. So this is more the WWF chart. This is more of the Jim Crockett chart. So we're going to go to the WWF chart, because they're 2 WWF wrestlers, and we're going to roll. So he rolled a D, a high cross body. So that's a D. Morocco is on level 3. So D, level 3. So we're going to get a 5. A 5 for count of 1. And a 20 for a count of 2. 67. And a 70 for a count of 3. And he got a 46. So Morocco just kicked out of that high cross body. The dragon pulled that out of nowhere. But he is still in a whole lot of heap of trouble here. That high cross body didn't even do any damage. And now we're back. Morocco again in control. And a 31 from Morocco. Hammers the dragon with a big forearm. So that's a big forearm. 7, 14. That's 18. And the dragon just going down. He's at 215. Morocco still at his full level 3 at 242. The dragon hasn't done anything to Morocco. He came out with a high cross body, but Morocco was able to get out of it. And Morocco's still in control. Mr. Fuji, loving what he's seeing here. 42 for Morocco. Man's a big chop. Giving the dragon some of his own medicine. So that's 5, 10, 12. And the dragon down to 203. He has taken a whole lot of punishment in this match. But now it's Ricky the Dragon looking to come back here. 17 from the dragon. Hits him with a big arm drag. So his arm drag is a 9, 18, 22. And Morocco now down to 220. And Steve-O now looking to come back with his own offense here. The dragon out with a 63. Going to try and get Morocco up in a big suplex. Can he get him up? Yes, he got that big man up. And he goes crashing to the mat. So that's a 17. That's 24. 30. 30 damage off that big suplex. Morocco down to 190. And just like that, the dragon coming back with his own offense on the Magnificent One. The dragon now in control. Dragon with a 2. That's a grapple. Gets Morocco up. So you would write, if you're keeping track of the moves for time limit, that would count as 2 moves. We're not doing a time limit here. And the dragon's still in control. The dragon now, a big 90. The dragon now with a big vertical chop. Jumps in the air, chops to the head of Magnificent Morocco. Look at Morocco's face. He is hurt. 28. 29. Mr. Fuji not liking that. And Morocco down to 161. Morocco down to 161, still in level 3. But Morocco now coming back with his own offense. Morocco now with a 5. Grabs the dragon. Grabs the dragon by the head. And now what's he going to do? He's got the dragon, 17. And he gives him a knee lift. Big knee lift by Morocco. Drops the dragon down on the mat. So that's a 5-10. 18. And the dragon goes down off that big knee lift by Morocco. And Morocco now, he is in control of this one. Magnificent one. Relaying a whole lot of punishment to the dragon in this match. 34. 34 from Morocco. Big kick to the midsection. That's an 8, 16, 19. And dragon down to 166. Morocco at 161. I'm just adjusting my scores here. Just give me one sec. So the dragon, he's been taking a lot of punishment in this matchup here. The magnificent one has been taking it to him. And the devious one, Mr. Fuji at ringside, he's loving every minute that he sees here. The dragon taking punishment. You can see that he wants to interfere. But now the dragon coming back on Morocco. 11. That's Morocco in the armbar. 2, 4, 7. Got Morocco in an armbar, trying to slow him down after all the punishment he's been taking in this match. I don't blame him. But Morocco looking to hammer back with some big right hands. And now Morocco now, 74. He's going to throw the dragon out of the ring. He throws the dragon out of the ring. And look out, Mr. Fuji, he could interfere. So now we're going to go to the out of the ring chart. And let's see here. Who has control here? And Morocco has control. He's going to pursue the dragon outside the ring. He's going outside the ring to go get the dragon. And he's doing it right in front of Mr. Fuji. And a 27 on the throw out of the ring chart. Wrestlers exchange 4 punches plus 28 each. Both return to the ring. So 28 each. We'll just leave it at the 28. So Morocco's down to 126. And wow, the dragon down to 38. And then both return into the ring after they are exchanging punches on the outside. But the dragon is in a whole lot of trouble. Excuse me. And Morocco is all over Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in this match. And look out, he's going for his tombstone pile driver on the dragon. He's got the dragon up. Oh, he hit him with that big tombstone pile driver. Oh my goodness. He got the dragon up and hit him with that tombstone pile driver. That's 80. 84. 84 damage. The dragon down to minus 46. And Morocco's going to go for the cover. Morocco going for the cover. So that tombstone pile driver is a B move. And the dragon is in the minuses. So B move in the minuses. So now he just needs a 1 for a count of 1. And he got it. Another 1 for a count of 1. Got that. And a 10 for a count of 2. And he got him. He got him. The magnificent Morocco lays out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with a big tombstone pile driver. After they both exchanged shots outside the ring. And then Mr. Fuji was telling Morocco to go for the tombstone pile driver. And he hit him with it. And wham, he got the dragon and he hit him with that big pile driver. The winner of this contest, the magnificent Don Morocco. The magnificent Morocco. And now Mr. Fuji, what's he got the cane? Oh, he's laying that cane on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And now it's Morocco and Steamboat hammering away at the dragon. And he's laying in with that Kate again. Come on, ref. Get in there. And now, Morocco. What's he doing now? He's got the dragon. He's putting his head in between the ropes, and now they're choking the dragon in between the ropes. He turned him over, and now the dragon being choked out by the top and second rope. Come on, referee, get in there. And now you see a whole bunch of other referees getting in there now. And Morocco and Fuji, look at them, like, please, cats. And they're out of here. And the dragon's stuck in the ropes, and they're trying to get him out of the ropes. And this is just unbelievable. This is just disgusting here what they did to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And your winner, the magnificent Morocco, off that big tombstone pile driver, but he had Ricky the Dragon going throughout this match. Alright, so there you have it. Mr. Fuji didn't even interfere in the match. He had his one interference, so as you can see, that kind of probably would have been overkill to give him two interference chances. So again, I'll leave it up to you. If whatever you decide. I think it's best to probably, if you're at least playing at maybe like a level 1, right? Then you give them their full interference, their own dice rolls. But anything lower, I'd probably just leave it at like a 1 or something. Again, that's totally up to you. These are just my thoughts. Again, combining with to make the game a little more smoother, a little more realistic. As you can see, that anything can happen when you're rolling d20s against each other. Morocco got a lot of the advantage in the match without even, this is about any type of advantage. This is just d20 versus d20, and I just so happened Morocco got the better of Ricky the Dragon on this night here, and laid in some big moves on him, wore him down pretty good with a lot of his moves. So again, that's what I was trying to say, that you roll your d20s, and then depending on the guy's moveset and the damage he does and the power points, that all plays a part. But again, if you want someone who you think who should have more control, then it's best to do these different dice combinations and to see which works for you, of who has what control or which dice they should use for control. And that should hopefully make your matches a little more, a little more realistic, I guess. It would be the term I'm looking for, if you're looking for more realism out of your matches here. So, again, this is a great game. I still have a lot of fun with this game. I have the other wrestling game, the Phil Singer game that I love. I love all these wrestling games, guys. I love all these wrestling games. Mr. S.D. Patrick has done this beautiful work with this game, and this amount of time that he's taken to document moves and to have these moves and that is just amazing. And I totally support all the stuff that he will put out in the future, whatever he does for these wrestling games. For me personally too, like it's just so much, guys, like to have these 5 different books. Again, like to have the Memphis and the World Class and the Jim Crockett. I didn't watch a lot of that, but I know who the wrestlers are, so it's great for me to have the books. But for me right now, I probably play a little more primarily the WWF, and probably going to try and start an AWA because I watched a lot of AWA, so I know a lot of that. And a lot of it, sometimes you could put whatever matches happened in the past and put them together and make your own matches, or you could try and have a lot of storyline. To me, the storylines of today don't really work with these old guys, or they could. They could. It just depends on your imagination of how it would work out. But for these guys, for me, a lot of the times were, a guy had a belt, and you're trying to get the belt off him, and it was just, the rankings and that, and then trying to make a name for himself and that kind of thing, and like a feud with like Steamboat Morocco. It started off with 2 guys probably going for the Intercontinental Championship, and then it gets personal. Morocco doesn't like Steamboat because he's from Hawaii, and he has his at the time he had his beautiful blonde haired wife, so that made Morocco mad, and you got Mr. Fuji trying to like rile up Morocco to lay in more damage to the steamboat and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. So the feuds kind of were kind of like made within a bit of the wrestlers, and not not, I don't know, not like today's storylines kind of thing, right? It's a little different, but still, I don't know. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm just kind of maybe babbling on here, but I think you get what I'm saying. But anyways, you guys play it out how you want. Again, like, I'm really enjoying this game, and again, try out these different dice combinations. If you're okay with playing it at the full levels, play it at the full levels. I think Mr. SD Patrick, he would say too, like he does matches where he plays, a quick match, with the quick play rules, and then he might do a level 3 match or a level 4 match, and then if he has his bigger match, and he might play that at the full strength. So then you kind of got a full card in there, and not necessarily playing everything at level 0, and kind of like wearing yourself out a bit. So play at different levels, try different dice combinations. If you want matches to go faster, double the damage, play at lower levels, and yeah, just have fun. And again, be aware of like guys' move sets. We were Al Red Sox fan and I were talking about some wrestlers don't have pins under charts. But Mr. Patrick had sent us an email saying that if you get a guy into the minuses, then they can go for automatic pins and that kind of thing. So that works out. It'd be probably be a real grind, because a lot of the enhancement talent guys don't have a lot of high damage moves though. So it'd probably be a little more of a grind, but it is possible, right? So just kind of be aware of like who you have wrestling, and what you want from the match, right? So, anyways, guys, I thank you for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions, my friends of the channel. I just thank you guys for your support. And again, I'll try and make some videos coming out soon. I'm sure I'll have a video coming out soon, because I do have something coming sometime soon. That's a big unboxing that I will do. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. But again, this was the Squared Circle. This is the new book here. It is a great book. So many wrestlers, over 170 something wrestlers in this book. New match types, manager rules, wrestling raffle charts, pin charts, throw it out of the ring, Memphis style charts are all in this new book. Check it out. And again, you cannot use this book unless you have the original Squared Circle Jim Crockett Promotions book. Okay? So they go hand in hand. Thank you again for watching, guys. Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for making a wonderful game. And thank you to all my subscribers for your support. And I just thank you. Hopefully see you in the next video soon. I hope you like this one. I hope this explained a little bit more of the game. If you have any kind of problems with what do you call it, simulation of it, or the moves or dice or whatever, I hope this hopefully explains a lot of things for this game. Okay, guys, take care. God bless. See you in the next video. Take care.